I discovered my husband of 8 years had 3 other wives. But that wasn't the worst of it. Missing you already after this weekend. The kids keep asking when Daddy's coming home. Kids, Daddy?
Hey, you're still up?
Who is she, Thomas?
What are you talking about?
The email. About the kids. About Daddy.
Oh, that? She's just a desperate colleague who fantasizes about me. You're being paranoid again, Alex.
The ease with which he lied to my face made my blood run cold. That night, I stared at the ceiling until 2 a.m., with the painful fact that my husband had been lying to me for years. After that first email, the evidence piled up quickly. A hotel receipt in his suit pocket, a text message glimpsed over his shoulder, whispered phone calls from the bathroom at midnight. Each discovery was like a paper cut, small but deep.
Jesus, what's all this?
Evidence.
Alexandra, you're scaring me. What are you talking about?
How long have you been seeing her?
It was a mistake. A few times, that's all.
Don't lie to me. Not anymore. It's been years, hasn't it?
I never meant to hurt you.
You've been hurting me every day for years. Every time you came home to me after being with her, every time you let me believe our life together was real.
It was real. What we have is real.
What we had. Lisa, Alexandra's friend from college, called her for coffee, with a tone that made Alexandra expect the worst.
I've been wondering whether to tell you this for months.
Tell me what?
I saw Thomas with someone at the Westlake Hotel. They looked intimate. People said they'd been seeing each other for years. I'm so sorry, Alexandra.
Years. The word echoed in my head like a gunshot. Not weeks or months. Years. It had started even before our engagement, before our vows, before everything. I spent that night at Lisa's apartment, staring at old photos on my phone.
Thought you might want some tea. Maybe you shouldn't look at those right now.
I keep searching for clues, signs I missed. There must have been something.
Alex, don't do this to yourself. You couldn't have known.
8 years, Lisa. 8 years of my life with a stranger.
He's the one who should be ashamed, not you. You loved, honestly. He didn't.
I don't even know who I am without him.
Then it's time to find out.
I'm going to need a lawyer and a forensic accountant.
Tomorrow. Tonight, just breathe.
What I didn't know then, what I couldn't have imagined in my darkest moments, was that Thomas had more than a single affair. The first hint came 3 days after I left, when I received a call from an unknown number.
Hello, is this Alexandra Mercer?
Yes, who's this?
My name is Diane Carroll. I believe we have something in common.
Who are you?
I'm married to Thomas Mercer.
That's impossible. I'm married to Thomas.
For how long?
8 years.
6 years for me. You have children?
No.
Thank God. I have a 4-year-old son.
The conversation that followed was surreal. 2 strangers piecing together their connection to the same man, discovering his business trips weren't business at all. How did you find me?
Credit card statements. I hired a private investigator.
Are there others?
The investigator thinks so. Something about property records in Denver.
Alexandra and Diane promised to stay in touch before hanging up. Thomas hadn't merely been unfaithful, he was living multiple parallel lives. The following weeks brought more proof, each more shocking than the last.
He has a system. Never misses birthdays or anniversaries. Always has excuses for absences. Keep calendars.
How could anyone maintain this for years?
Psychopaths. They don't experience guilt like normal people.
Then came the third wife. Rachel from Denver reached out after Diane traced her through property records. Younger than both of us, she'd been married to Thomas for just 3 years.
I thought his schedule was normal for his profession. 3 weeks here, 1 week traveling. I never questioned it.
The three of us formed an unlikely bond, sharing details of our lives with Thomas, searching for patterns, trying to comprehend how we'd been fooled.
We need to confront him, together.
What would that accomplish? He'll just lie more.
I need to see his face when he realizes it's all over.
Alexandra understood completely. Part of her needed that moment too, the need to witness Thomas's facade crumbling. So, they devised a plan. Thomas was scheduled to be in Boston with Alexandra the following weekend at the couple's favorite restaurant, and Thomas agreed readily, perhaps sensing she might forgive him for all his betrayal.
The next weekend, Alexandra sat alone at a table for 4 at a posh restaurant in Boston. Thomas approached her and kissed her the cheek before sitting down next to her.
Why do we need such a big table? Are we expecting company, darling?
Yes, they should be here any minute.
Actually, I need to take this work emergency. Give me 5 minutes.
Of course, Alexandra knew exactly who was calling and why. Everything was going according to plan. When Thomas returned, Diane and Rachel were seated beside. The color drained from his face so rapidly, she thought he might collapse. "Thomas, I believe you know everyone here." Thomas simply sat down, looked at each of them in turn and said,
I can explain.
Rachel laughed sharply,
Please do.
but there was no explanation, no justification that could possibly explain the lie he'd maintained for years.
I did love each of you, in different ways.
You're a psychopath. You should be locked up. You don't know what love is.
What do you want me to tell our kids? That their father has 3 other families?
You'll pay for this one way or another, Thomas.
Hey, wait, I'm not who you think I am.
The wives left him there. The three of them walked out together while he called after them. In the parking lot, they embraced. 3 strangers bound by betrayal and shared trauma.
What now?
Now we rebuild. The following weeks brought more surprises, joint accounts we hadn't known about, credit cards in different names, and eventually, evidence of a 4th wife in Austin.
8 years of my life. We have twins.
We're here for you now. You're not alone.
Detailed records. He kept files on each of us.
The documents they uncovered were chilling. Thomas had created an actual manual for managing multiple wives like a scientist studying specimens. I'm going to be sick. He studied us like lab rats.
I want to go to the police. This has to be illegal.
It was time to make sure Thomas Mercer never did this to anyone else again. In the midst of this chaos, I received a text from Thomas. I miss you. What we had was real, regardless of the rest. I shared it with the others. Each had received similar messages. Even now, he was attempting to manipulate us.
Block him. He's trying to break our unity.
A week later, a local reporter in Chicago approached Diane for an interview. After some thought, they agreed to speak publicly. The story went viral overnight, but that question still haunted me. What signs had I missed? What red flags had I ignored? And then came another letter.
I truly did love you, especially you.
I shared the letter with the others. Collectively, we decided not to respond. 2 years after Discovery Day, I cautiously began dating again. His name was Mark. Mark knew my story before our first date. Like everyone else, he had read about it. Doesn't it bother you? Dating someone with such public baggage?
What bothers me is how close he came to getting away with it. You deserve so much better.
3 years after Discovery Day, I sat in Dr. Reynolds' office for a final therapy session.
Do you trust now?
I trust differently, not blindly, not completely, but I trust.
That's not a bad place to be.
Do you ever think about him?
Less and less. He takes up far less space now.
Good, he's taken enough.
Sometimes the most devastating breaks create space for something stronger to grow in their place.